Hi guys, Bobbi here, Bobbi Unplugged. I'm here with my new friend and the coolest woman and my new role model, Norma Kamali. I can't believe I actually know Norma Kamali. This is Norma.
Nice to be here with Bobbi. Yes, we are new friends and obviously have a lot of similar interests and similar goals. And one of the reasons I really, really wanted to speak with you on the podcast was to talk about, first of all, our motivation from day one has been making women look as good as possible, doing whatever we can to empower women in that way. What was your initial kind of motivation to do that?
Well, I think, my story, I don't know about you when you were a kid, but when I was growing up, I never thought I was enough. I never thought I was tall enough. I wasn't. I never thought I was smart enough. I was different smart. And I never thought I was pretty enough.
Right.
And so what does a girl do that has, self-esteem issues? She moves to New York City and starts working with supermodels. I mean, of course, and editors from other countries that are all confident and cool. So what I did have is I'm a sponge. So I watched the way everyone lived their life. And then I started doing makeup that just made people look like better versions of themselves.
Yeah, enhancing. That's definitely. So it's very interesting because my nose grew much faster than the rest of my face when I was growing up. And I grew up in an Irish Catholic neighborhood and everybody had a little turned up nose. So I would sleep on my pillow hoping that my nose would not keep growing and would turn up. And I also felt that everybody was prettier and that I was just so different. And so I started to capitalize on the fact that, well, I am different. So
how long did it take you?
Time. It took time. And it took time to understand that being different could be an asset. And that I just realized I wasn't going to be pretty, but I was just going to be unique in my way. So I wore clothes that were different. And this was my way of being me.
Right.
But it's interesting that you then took it to your career path.
And and my story is my mother once came to me and said, "You're so pretty, but you'd be gorgeous if you had your nose fixed."
Oh my God.
I never complained about my nose. So I knew then that I was onto something because I realized this is who I am.
Right.
I'm fine with it. And so when I work with women, they always would tell me what they don't like.
Right.
And I'd be, "Are you kidding?" They'd say, "Oh, I have droopy eyes." I'm like, "You have beautiful deep set eyes like Jacqueline Bisset."
Yeah.
Like I never thought of that.
Right.
So it's just about seeing beauty.
Yeah. And the fact that perfection is almost not beautiful and that it is the individual nuances that are really so interesting. And as you and I both know, the insecurity is in here. It has nothing to do with what's going on because you can always enhance what you have. You can always simplify everything.
And it's not only the way you look, it's how you feel you look.
Exactly.
And, I've gone to the Met Ball a couple times. I know you go all the time. And I remember having a choice. I could either go there feeling insecure and uncomfortable, or I could just have a good time.
Right.
And I always chose to have a good time.
Yeah.
But it took a long time to get there. Who's the most beautiful woman you ever met? You've been around everybody.
It's a great question because the most beautiful women are women that have something going on. And it's really the spirit in the woman. And it's not necessarily one woman, and it isn't necessarily a celebrity. We both met a lot of incredibly beautiful women. But I think the women that inspire me the most are the women that have spirit. So for me, I met Bunny Mellon, who is a very dear friend of Jackie Kennedy's. And she, to me, was so stunning because her spirit, everything about it was alive and was full of curiosity.
And who was Bonnie Mellon? Because not everyone listening.
So Bunny Mellon was married to Paul Mellon, a very wealthy
New York.
New York man who was a big financial person. They had great art, great lifestyle. She lived in the lap of luxury. She was brought up in Southampton in the early 20s, 30s. She spent her time there. And I met her through Robert Isabel. And she has had a farm that was the most spectacular place. And we went there for a holiday. And she said, let's give each other the gift of art. We're all going to create something for each other. So that was her take on how to experience something. So I sketched this room full of baskets, and Robert created a great flower arrangement, and she did this beautiful presentation that was just extraordinary. And I thought, I love this woman. Now I know why Jackie Kennedy was so taken by her. And she helped do the Rose Garden at the White House, and she helped Jackie do the drapes and everything.
So did you know Jackie Kennedy?
I didn't know her, but I knew her through the store.
Right. So she would come into the store?
A little bit. She wasn't like my diehard, but she did buy some things.
But that must have been really exciting when she came in.
And her son bought stuff for
Caroline.
For Caroline. Yeah. And did you know Jackie?
I never got to meet Jackie, but Carolyn Bissett Kennedy was such a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
I mean, just my kind of girl, where she just looked effortless,
simple,
and undone, but done, and
Yeah. So if you were to describe beauty, since we're in that, so what is beautiful today?
Right. To me, beauty is health. To me, beauty is health, and that means beautiful skin. I don't care if there's lines. I don't care if there's not lines. It just has to be hydrated and even and beautiful. And it has to look like skin. It can't look like a mask. And it can't look like you smoke cigarettes. You have to have health. And to me, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And whether your hair's in a ponytail or you get great blowouts, it really doesn't matter. It's your eyes. It's what you see in the eyes, and it's your skin.
Yeah. And I agree with you. The mask is a sign to me of insecurity, that you don't feel like you're pretty enough or good enough. Just like, everybody goes through at a certain time. Instead of covering up, show it and make it, enhance it in the best way.
Right. And I also love mixed women, because I think they're the most beautiful. You have a beautiful woman of color with, an Asian, and you put them together and you're like, oh my God, that's stunning. So I love that a lot.
Well, I think that inevitably is going to be what everybody looks like. I think these groups, these cultural groups are dissipating. The world is so mixing up. Thank goodness, finally.
And you have an interesting nationality. What are you? Because I would just assumed you were Jewish, not just because I'm Jewish and I think everyone I relate to, right?
So
which is not a nationality, Jewish, but whatever.
My father was Basque and my mother Lebanese. So two very rebellious cultures come together to create this interesting family background. Right. But there was a lot of olive oil.
Right, a lot of olive oil.
A lot of olive oil. Yeah.
And what do you eat now?
Well, I am an olive oil consumer. I have olive oil every single day. You're talking about skin, and I think for me, what you eat is very significant. Working out is very significant. So having healthy skin, olive oil to me is, if you can put it on your skin and it's great. And if you consume it, I think it's also super helpful. I too agree with you that if you can have skin that's real, that looks like, you lived this life, not going to change anything. My nose is still there. But make it healthy by really thinking about the food you eat.
Right.
What's a typical day for you?
There isn't a typical day. I have a couple habits that I do regularly, and they're probably not the best for my health, but I can't let them go. One of them is espresso in the morning. I love my espresso, and I usually do it after 2 cups of water. Sometimes I put lemon in it. Sometimes I put green, not in the coffee, in the water. And then I have my espresso, which I love. Sometimes I do black. Sometimes I put coconut oil in it. And then I eat a lot of vegetables during the day. And at night, I like to have a cocktail. And during the day, it's not that important. I'm not into cookies or bread because they don't like me.
Yeah. I think cookies, bread, sugar is like if you want a bloated face, these are the things you can do. You can have a lot of sugar.
Right.
And you can probably throw in some salt in that, and you'll really have a puffy, bloated face. And that's the look.
Right. And mostly just doesn't make you feel good. For me, it's, health is not about being skinny. It's about feeling good. Yeah. And I know you exercise a lot. Yeah. So what do you do?
Well, I think for me, I have, and you too, you have hyper energy too. I mean, we are like the energetic bunnies. We definitely are of that personality type A probably. And I just have to do something with it. And I put in my calendar every day. This time I'm going to the gym and I work out. If I miss it, then when I go home, I definitely have to work out. Otherwise, I'm out of sorts.
Right.
I just feel off and not right. And that's that feeling is part of being powerful. And if you feel thrown off of it, you're not really performing at your best.
Right. And for those of you guys that are watching and say, oh, I don't have time, I don't have a gym, I walk. I walk a lot. I put my shorts on, my headphones on. I either listen to music or I even call people. Like if I'm in a funk, I'll walk and then I'll call my dad or my sister or one of my friends. And you just feel better when you're done.
Yeah. No, it's true. I think there are times I have to work out with a group of people.
Right.
You're competitive. I'm competitive. Right.
Yeah.
I can't walk down the street without being competitive to see if I can walk faster than the person. It's so crazy. But I love being in a class, and obviously people in the class are half my age. So I'm really being competitive in that class. And it's great for me because it keeps me on my toes and it keeps me knowing what the standard is that you have to be at for that. And it's really, I think, very telling when you go into a class, you don't want to be there. It's like, I'm not in the mood. I don't feel good. I have a headache.
You should be somewhere else.
And then when the class is over, you say, oh, I'm so glad I did this. I feel so much better. And the thrill of going beyond what you think you can do is such an inspiration for your normal day. Because if you could physically have your mind push you physically beyond where you thought you could go, you can do that in whatever you're doing. It doesn't, there's no wall when you know you can go further. What's the biggest challenge that you've ever had in your career?
Oh my God, there's been so many challenges.
I know that's the problem.
I would say probably the biggest challenge I ever had is how to be an entrepreneur working for a corporate company. That was, you've always been your own boss.
Right.
I thought I was my own boss. And so I really had to work hard to make sure that the things that I thought would do the right things for the company happened. And sometimes there was arguing or discussions. And I left the company because it was time that I didn't want to argue anymore.
Right.
And I just wanted to do things my way, and best decision I ever made.
It's incredible because that independence and that freedom is priceless. And there's nothing that can substitute for being responsible totally for a good decision or a bad decision. And I think the the ability to be brave enough
Right.
to make a decision
Sure.
like that is
Right.
bigger than people understand.
Mm-hmm.
To walk away from some things is almost harder than initiating new
Right.
things.
Well, I think it's fascinating that you shot your own campaign this year. We had dinner and Norma had her phone, and I guess she was telling me that you pressed to photograph, but you didn't take your finger off. And so you had how many pictures?
So I decided that I was going to shoot my
Right.
campaign with my iPhone. And we shot it. We were supposed to do it on location.
Mhm.
And now that you can see, we shot
Right.
it here. However, the reason we didn't shoot on location is because it was pouring rain.
Mm-hmm.
So black. There was no light
Right.
coming in like here. It was black. And I
Mhm.
thought, oh my God, these pictures are not going to come out. I'll never be able to book someone else in the, fashion
Right.
week. And when are you going to get girls? This is a disaster. And I can't tell you it was some kind of miracle that
Mhm.
they came out, but I was so concerned that I took 42,000 photos. Literally.
42 I'm not
It's
kidding.
not an exaggeration.
42,000
42,000, 9 days.
And she edited them
of editing.
herself.
9 days. It was just unbelievable. But the experience, when you do something
Right.
different and disruptive,
It's
it's
fun.
nerve-wracking.
It's nerve-wracking, but
And
it's
you
fun.
sweat, and then you do it, and you think, oh, I'm so glad I did this. I
Mhm.
mean, it's similar to
Right.
taking your physical self to a new place, but
Right.
doing.
But I always say, what's the worst that happened? It doesn't work out. That doesn't mean it's a failure. It's just an opportunity to do something else.
It's true.
So there's no.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. So what's the biggest risk that you've taken? And some creative risk.
Creative risk. Many years ago, when things just looked really boring in the natural makeup world,
Yeah.
we took a risk at Bobbi Brown Cosmetics, and we did something called color options, which was like the idea was supposed to be a neutral palette, but like a touch of pink here, acid green on the eyes, just little things. Except I think the artists were so excited to all of a sudden see color. They used everything at once. And truthfully, me, they look like bad Estee Lauder makeovers or any department store makeovers.
Right.
It was like, oh my God. So that didn't really work. That was ahead of its time.
Yeah. It's interesting when you decide that you have to think out of the box, and when they work, it's great.
Right.
But more often than not, they don't work. I think I probably have 20 ideas for one that is really good.
Right.
We keep a lot of them secret. We do a little testing ahead of time, but doing.
So what's your biggest thing that you've tried that didn't work?
So many. I would say I think my problem in my failures is that I do them too early, just like you.
Right.
I mean, you do it too early. Your senses, I believe this. I think this is the next thing, except it's 10 years too early or 15 years too early. And people look at you like you're crazy, and you think, that can't be. I believed it, but then I guess maybe it wasn't. So I'm notorious for like jumping the gun.
But the nude makeup that I didn't know that I was starting years ago.
Is
to me that's something that will always be around. It's just to me I think it was such a gift for women. It says your skin is perfect, just the color it is.
Yeah.
You shouldn't change the color of your skin. Yeah. Women of color, any of us. So that's probably what I'm most proud of.
Yeah. I think you've claimed that, you own that, and the thing about things that are timeless is that they're always going to be right. There is never a time where it's not going to be right, or it's always going to be right for everybody. So I think timeless is always my barometer too.
And what year did you start your company?
1967.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Because
were you in
I was
junior
19.
High school? Or,
no, I was 10.
You were 10.
I'm 60 now. So, okay, that was a while ago. But I remember when I came to New York in 88 to be a no, 87, I don't remember, 87, to be a freelance makeup
Right.
artist. You were like the biggest rage. And you were, you were going out to like Studio 54 with like Andy Warhol.
Well,
Like, tell me about that because I missed it.
Here's my connection to
Yeah.
Studio 54. Everybody says they saw me at Studio 54,
Uh-huh.
but I was never there.
You've never really?
I was going out with Ian Schrager,
Right.
and I knew everything about
Right.
Studio 54.
He owned Studio 54.
He and
Just
Steve
saying.
Rubel.
Right.
But,
yeah, just saying.
Yeah.
Because people are watching from like Korea and all sorts of places.
So we were together
Yeah, right.
during that period, and he's my best
Right.
friend now, and
Right.
actually introduced me to my boyfriend.
To her new
now.
amazing
Yeah.
boyfriend, yeah.
But so I knew all the behind the scenes about Studio 54. And I would go to see how a party was decorated or whatever, but I never went.
Mhm.
And because I don't drink and I never got stoned on anything, you could not participate in this massive thing if you weren't a little tweaked with something.
I went once before it closed with, a couple of hairdresser friends of mine. But it was, 89 or something. It was way different.
Yeah, so we're talking 70s.
Oh, yeah.
Studio.
No, and those pictures and Halston and all that. So you're like, oh my God.
And it was really a phenomenon. And Ian still has the ability to understand what it takes to create an environment where people can enjoy an experience. And all we talk about today is what's going to be experiential.
Which is not what everyone's trying to do. So he was way ahead of his time.
He was way ahead, and he continues to do that with the hotels. And so I really saw how every night there was something different, and there were parties all the time, and each party was a major event with lots of detail that you couldn't forget.
So did you meet Truman Capote? Did you see them?
New York was much smaller then, and everybody knew everybody else. So Andy Warhol took an enormous amount of Polaroids in my store. So
do you have them?
But people keep showing me that they're turning up everywhere now from whatever. And so, yes, of course, I met him and talked to him. And it was a smaller community. The population was a lot smaller. And it was a more focused kind of, there were only a few places you could go. There were a few clubs. There were a few restaurants. There weren't the amount of restaurants and the amount of areas in New York. So it was an interesting time.
Wow. Amazing. Has anyone done a film of your life?
No.
Is it in the works?
There's actually there's a film in the works on Ian and Studios, which should be very interesting.
Yeah, but I think someone should do something on you.
Well, what about
a show? No, I'm not there yet. I'm not there.
You're a work in progress.
Yeah, I'm a work in progress.
So what's the next? What really do you see as you?
I'm someone like you that likes to create things, and I like to do things I don't know how to do, and I just like to try them, and I like to learn. So the first project was my book, Beauty from the Inside Out, and then our hotel, the George, is going to be opening in November, and that's been a very creative project.
Talk
for us.
About that.
Well, it's just a small boutique hotel in Montclair, New Jersey that is going to be very lifestyle inspired, but comfortable and hip enough, but not hip in a way that it's not a hip hotel, just kind of a cool, comfortable hotel. I've traveled so much and I like things minimal, but I like it comfortable. So we're working on that. And then...
And you're designing...
I'm not building the building. My husband is doing the development of the building, and I am, involved in all the details, from the beds to the, the different furniture, to the sheets, the towels, the bathroom. I actually brought you a George candle as a gift. So, and also another project I'm doing is this concept shop at Lord & Taylor. So it's a pop-up shop. It's online and in 6 or 8 stores. And I've been able to curate my favorite products.
Oh, wow.
And very lifestyle.
Oh, wow.
And, They're trying to figure it out.
You know what?
It's
That's
really
a
fun.
great idea. And talk about that. Finally, some innovative thinking. That's fantastic. Have you been filming the process of you doing the George?
We have pictures, lots of pictures.
Because to me, I'm addicted to those makeover shows on TV. And as you were talking about it, I was thinking the husband, the builder,
who won't get in front of a camera,
who won't get right. But then the whole process of putting a space together that has your personality and style. I can't wait to see it.
I'm sure it's going to be really
great.
fun. And there's going to be a boutique, so we'll get to curate some of your things.
Oh, cool. I can't wait to see the George. Would you do more of them?
Well, one at a time, we'll see. I mean, I like to create things. So once it's created once, I don't know if I'll want to have that as a career.
Or if they're all different.
If they're all different, as long as I'm creating things, I mean, and also having the George as a platform for home, for lifestyle.
Totally.
So,
I think that's, I really think that the well-being or that we're talking about health and happiness and the spirit, thinking of ways to create an environment where people can really feel good is so much a part of this wellness idea that I talk to Ian all the time of like, we need places where people can feel good and really kind of come down.
But there's not really a great spa, especially around here. I mean,
no, you're right.
There's not, or at least the place that in my mind I would want to do.
Exactly.
So I actually just had this conversation. Do you know Sarah Brown, who was the beauty editor of Vogue?
Yes.
So she's not at Vogue anymore, and she's really interested in putting together a group of women to help, this cause, and maybe you would be perfect for this.
I think it's so needed, and you're right. There is nothing there. I mean, if you and I wanted to say, let's do 2 days and go up somewhere, where would we go?
Right. That's exactly.
And you've traveled a lot. I've traveled a lot. I can safely say I've had massages in every great place you can have a massage. I just think they're so important and necessary. I've gone to so many wellness sort of events and retreats, and there isn't a place that has this minimal comfort, but also where you can do things that are super healthy, that you feel good, that you're relaxing, and whether it's a meditation event or whatever it is, where there are all of these things that are accessible.
Well, you're going to have to tell Ian to get on it.
I've been trying. I don't think he's interested.
I mean, honestly.
It's a female. But you're right. You said a group of women together.
I mean,
really
I would like to go to a place where I can go to my room and the first thing I do is take a bath. With salt. And then put my robe on and have a nice bowl of bone broth. Go to bed, wake up in the morning, do yoga, meditation, and eat like cleanest food. No grains, just like, and detox for a couple days. I hate the word detox, but just get rid of, all of everything that.
It's an emotional detox too. It's not just the toxins, but emotional, toxic behavior that comes into us has to come out also. Some of it can come out through exercise, but I think so much is mental health too.
Totally.
And how we think about ourselves and what we do for
ourselves.
It's
recharging. It's like I put so much energy out, my tank gets empty. I'm on the verge right now. So it's like I need, and there's for me, there's no reprieve till the end of the summer. We have a lot of friends, kids' weddings, we're going on a friend's boat. Like it's all great things, but where is the Bobbi time where I could say, okay, stop. See, your boyfriend travels a lot, so you have those moments.
Well, you're right. But it's still, you want to see everyone, you want to do everything, but then this is also collection time for us. So August is not about summer fun. Anybody that's in fashion is like, oh my God, collections have to get done. So our sample room is the floor below, and it's insanity time there. So I was in super early at 6:23 this morning to make sure that I could do this and get everything going.
So you haven't exercised yet?
No, 4:45. But today,
what are you doing today?
We may run over, so I'll go home. And
do it at home.
I'll do stuff at home.
Yeah, I've been watching your exercising. It's really amazing.
I love exercising. I love feeling feeling strong in my body, and I just think it's so personally indulgent. It's something I'm doing for me in my calendar. That's my time.
Right. And I don't find it indulgent. I find it necessary to be the person I am to take care of the people in my life.
Yeah. So what if you could pick a few indulgent things? I mean, are you a massage person?
I love massage.
What's your favorite massage?
I just like a really tough, hard massage.
Do you?
I like when someone really knows the body.
Yeah.
Because I don't just like pain. I like when they know and they can feel what the issues are. And when someone has, I'm really open. And when someone has like healing energies or they see things or feel things, I go with it.
Yeah, I do too. I love it.
Yeah. But I haven't found anyone that I love in a long time.
Well, I'm so addicted, and it is an addiction to Thai massage because it's a combination of stretching and sort of, like you said, they really have to know the body and they use their body against your body and breathing together and doing it as the person giving the massage is involved and the person getting the massage is involved. And it's really the stretching, which we don't do enough of.
Right.
So you're walking, and I love walking too. I think it's really so good for the head and obviously cardio, everything else. What do you walk a certain amount of time?
I don't have it today, but I wear my Apple Watch, and as you said, we are competitive. So if I get under 12,000, I'm bummed. And when I go on vacation, I get 20 something, and the only one that gets more is my husband gets 30 because he plays golf and he walks the course.
Oh,
so it's pretty amazing. So, and he's like as lean as can be, and I'm small, and I literally, if I gain a couple pounds, I feel like it's 30 pounds. So I have to keep my weight off, and by walking, when I'm walking regularly, it seems to work.
Yeah, walking is great. Running, I used to run. Were you a runner ever?
Years ago. I was never great. My boobs were too big. Yeah.
It's true. Like you really have to strap them down when you run. Yeah. But I think it just wears on your joints and you really, I mean, but running is again competitive because you can go into a sprint. But I love fast walking and just doing fast walking and then
and I'll run a second. Like if there's a great song, I'll run for 30, 45 seconds. That's because I love to dance.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
So we had a fun dance party. And it really turned out to be a lot of fun. So the next dance party,
keep me on the list.
To come. Any excuse to dance.
Me too.
Now, did you take dance as a kid?
No, and honestly, I'm not a good dancer. I've hopped on stage with Flo Rida. I've hopped on stage with Salt and Pepper, and my kids have videotaped me many times dancing in the Bahamas. So I don't care. It just makes me so happy.
Yeah,
I get a lot of creative ideas when I'm listening to hip hop music. I don't know why.
Yeah, I know. Music is so moving, and dancing is just so great. I love dancing. Who's your favorite musical artist, singer or musician?
I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I have Biggie Smalls.
Really?
Biggie Smalls. I love Eminem.
Yeah.
I think he's great. Rihanna, I really like. And I like Bruce Springsteen. I like the Rolling Stones. I'm going to see Paul McCartney.
Are you really?
I'm very excited and invited to the vegan meal that they're inviting their friends to beforehand.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good thinking.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So, I love music, and
Yeah.
I love moving my body.
Mm. Yeah, I think music and fashion have
Mhm.
always been
Right.
very connected. When you think about the beauty industry
Mhm.
from the time
Right.
you went in it to now,
Right.
what do you and this is really a
Right.
question for
Yeah.
the two of us.
Mhm.
Objectification for
Mhm.
me is a very big topic. And I think both of our industries are really big objectifiers of
Mhm.
women. And I participated. I didn't even think that I was participating in
Mhm.
objectifying women. What do you think would be the biggest positive move forward
Mhm.
for the beauty industry when it comes to the way they present women?
Well, I think it's happening in both extremes. I think that the whole contouring, Kardashian, that movement, not good. There's a lot of like the new younger
Mm-hmm.
brands, organic, quick, easy, simple makeup that is allowing women to be themselves
Yeah.
again. So I think there's a big divide. And then there's the big guys stuck in the middle that haven't chosen either side.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's opportunity for any company to be able to, get more in the moment.
And do you think the two camps are going to stay two camps
I
forever? Is
my
this
my
a
gut, and it's just my gut, is I think that the younger, natural, the clean movement is going to overtake the other
mm-hmm,
movement. I really do feel that,
mm-hmm.
but it's going to take some time.
Yeah. I sense the same with Gen
Mm-hmm.
Z, that they're
Yeah.
not as concerned about the superficial
No,
layer about anything.
they don't like the
Yeah,
superficial,
yeah,
and as a matter of fact, most of them don't like the marketing things that
at
aren't
all.
real.
Yeah, yeah.
Where my mother still buys things that say get rid of your wrinkles, and
Eh,
she still thinks they exist,
right,
and she buys them.
right.
Where the younger kids, they absolutely don't, and they don't
Yeah.
even want to use a brand that says
Mm.
things like that.
Yeah, and what's fantastic about them is they don't see color, they
Mm-hmm.
don't
Right.
see religion, they don't
Mm-hmm.
see racial
Right.
divide, they don't see political
Mm-hmm. Right.
divisions. It's just so refreshing, and I feel so inspired and
Mm-hmm.
enlightened
Right.
to know that this is
Mm-hmm.
what is
Right.
coming.
Well, I think beauty and health and wellness is fusing together, and
Mm.
it should.
Yeah.
Where it was
Yeah.
very separate. Now
Hmm.
I think it's coming together.
Yeah.
And I think something will happen with fashion too.
Mm.
With fitness, with fashion. I mean, it is happening.
Hmm.
You go into all the big department stores and you could buy Nike sneakers and New Balance,
Right.
and
Yeah.
it's crazy,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it tells you
Mhm.
that the life of a
Yeah.
woman is so much about being
Mhm.
healthy,
Right.
that she's thinking about comfort and
Mhm.
she's thinking
Right.
about being healthy. And other than weddings
Mhm.
and events like that, there's a big space of being comfortable
Right. In your skin. Yeah.
and just
Mhm.
not being so
Right.
set on having outfits
Right.
or having to look a certain way.
Right.
So it's wonderful to see. I think
Mhm.
millennials have a statement they
Right.
make, and they're the disruptors.
Right.
Thank
Mhm.
goodness for
Right.
that. But I also think their their look, just like baby boomers in the
Mhm.
70s and
Yeah.
60s had their look.
Right.
But the freedom that Gen Z have, you
Right.
described
But
completely.
it's funny because even though I am 60, I feel that way. I will go out with my hair in a ponytail, put a big pair of earrings on, just a white t-shirt, a pair of,
Mhm.
whatever, and I go out and I'm
Yeah.
fine with it. And I wear flats and I'm 5 foot tall.
Yeah.
I never would have done that 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I
know?
mean, I think it also has to do, I think, after you reach a certain age.
Mhm.
And I think 50 is that age
Mhm.
where women say, I don't give a shit.
Right.
This is who I am.
Right.
I do those Instagram videos
Right.
with nothing. Like
Right.
sometimes I'm like, I get out of bed and I
Right.
start working out and I
Uh-huh.
think, oh, you know what? People want me to do this while I'm working
Yeah.
out. I'm going to do it.
Right.
And then I think I should have combed my hair, but I
Uh-huh.
didn't, and
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
And I look at them and I think, I can't believe that I
Right.
really don't care
Right.
that I'm like,
But it's real, and we are all real. And yes,
Yeah.
there's times to get all dressed up.
yeah,
But every time
or at least comb your hair.
comb your hair, make sure there's nothing in your teeth.
Right.
But the times that I take my bag, which just has lots of junk in it, when I'm overwhelmed at the end of the week and haven't cleaned it out every day, and if I post a picture of it on Instagram,
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh my God, you're just
You
like
too.
me."
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah. What do you think?"
That's great.
Right?
That's a
You
great
know.
picture.
Yeah.
I commend
Right?
you on
Yeah.
being free enough to do that. That is really soul telling.
Yeah.
My bag is definitely a disaster. I don't know. Maybe I'll take the challenge and
I mean, if
see if
I
I'm
feel
brave enough.
I do it almost every night because I go from place to place, and so I've got
It's
bags
all
full
in
of
your
stuff,
bag. Yeah.
and I dump it at night. And then my dad taught me this because I would get overwhelmed. Compartmentalize.
Yeah.
So I do. Okay, this goes over here.
Yeah.
This goes over here, and I bring a lot of vitamins and wellness things with me.
Me too.
And that's the one thing I've got to figure out how to simplify because we've discussed
Yeah.
this. I cannot really get a handle on my tummy and my digestion.
Mm.
And, so I'm working on that issue too,
Yeah.
because I don't want to have to bring bags of stuff.
Yeah. Well, probiotics are really great. Another thing that that I did this years ago, but there's a hormonal connection to and balancing hormones with apple cider vinegar.
Mhm.
Bragg's
Right.
apple cider vinegar, and years ago, it probably was early 80s, I was sipping apple cider vinegar, and because I heard
Right.
it
Yeah.
had a hormonal
Mhm.
connect, but I didn't really
Right.
get it. I just did it. And I thought, I used to feel pretty good, and I didn't even dilute it. I would just chug out of the bottle.
Yikes.
And there was a girl in the company at the time who I'm still friends with who had it in her drawer, and she was chug-a-lugging it too. And we would laugh that we did it. And then I started to do research
Right.
again. And I think hormones for women are so volatile. It's just from puberty
Mhm.
to eat till the day
Right.
you die. You're still dealing with
Right.
hormones, too many, the lack of, the fluctuation of, and it really affects
Mhm.
our spirit and how
Right.
we feel.
Mhm.
So I thought I'm gonna go back to the apple cider vinegar. So I'll give you a
Right.
heads up on
Okay.
how
Yeah.
that does. But I think probiotics
Mhm.
have been such a savior for me and my stomach and my
Do
digestion.
you take them at night or in the morning? Or
Sometimes I take morning and night, depending on how I feel. I mean, listening to your body and what
Right.
feels right is always the best thing to do.
Mhm.
But so much of your stress and my
Yeah.
stress go
is in
there
there? Yeah.
too. So we're gut people,
Right. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So we go with our gut,
Mhm.
and so that's what happens.
Yeah. So that's kind of my biggest thing to try to simplify.
Yeah, yeah.
Because my makeup, I have 4 things. And
What are
that's
the
it.
4 things?
I have a brown pencil because I could use the brown pencil to fill in my brows,
Everywhere.
line my eye, color my gray. I could also very lightly do this and smush
Right,
it. In a
right.
pinch, I could do my cheek with it.
Mhm.
I always have a moisturizer because my skin's so dry. Even at the end of the day, I put either an oil or moisturizer on.
Mhm.
I have a concealer corrector, and then I have a product that I use on my cheek and my lips. And that's it.
I think we need a kit.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need a kit.
Yes. I
For
know exactly
sure.
what it would be.
Yeah, that's to me having
Mhm. Yeah.
few. I mean, I definitely don't think about. I
Right.
used to literally in the 60s, the more time you spent
Mhm.
on your makeup,
Right.
the more a woman you are,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
So I used to apply my eyelashes one at a time, individual
Every day.
lashes, top and bottom, every
Every
day,
day.
of course. And not only pancake makeup,
Mhm.
but the kind you wet and then you put it on
Oh
and
my
it's like
gosh.
plaster. And there's nothing you want to hide on your skin because it's like you're 16, 17. Why would you want to hide but pancake makeup so that so you look like there's one tone and no human face could ever look that color.
Wow.
And then it's eyebrows, the lashes, the shading, the then whatever you put on your lips, the liner and the lip color and the whole thing. And then the hair pieces upon hair pieces.
Oh my gosh.
And hours. And it would be.
Those days are over.
Those days were over such a long time ago. But it was it was sort of the ritual of being a woman at a time. This was Mad Men time. Remember, this is the 60s. So this is what women did. There was so much of the ritual of being a woman. Now you're a 4-piece thing. That's what else do you need? Yeah. And the more multi-purpose it is, the better.
Yeah, and you just add a black for nighttime and then you're done.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. So, Bobbi, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I love this. I'm
I'd talk to you anytime.
Happy. This is such a pleasure. Hey, press follow and leave a comment after you listen to the podcast. Thanks.